Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
You're ready to reconnect, to discover, to explore a Georgia that always has more stories to share and views to admire. Set for your next adventure while you set your own pace to wonder or wander, or whatever it is that makes you feel you. To feel that Georgia feeling, those beautiful, real, honest moments. The only found in Georgia moments. Find yours at exploregeorgia.org.
But a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
Welcome to the new era of brand promotion. Are you trying to find a way to make a splash? We understand that advertising isn't what it used to be. Things have changed. Advertising is both more dynamic and more engaging. Shry Media keeps your brand not just seen, but remembered. In a world where staying relevant is key, we are your partners in staying top of mind.
Hello and welcome to Kingsport, Tennessee. It's AAC softball at night. The softball tournament underway. Thrilled to have you along for the ride. Gabriel Schrei here. Lorenzo Robinson along for the ride all day long. We've got all the action. Final game of the day, the nightcap, and it's a late one. We're going to have a 10 p.m. start. Columbia, the Koalas, the Tennessee Wesleyan University Bulldogs, all here on the Southeast Sports Network and our simulcast to the AAC Digital Network. Very excited to see this one. Some hardware to hand out, starting lineups to review. Before we get into that, we'll take a short break and be right back with more college softball on SCSN.
But a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATVs life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
The story of the United States has been written for centuries. Penned by millions of authors, written in every language, from every perspective. With every chapter as unique as our people and our land. Our story is one made up of many. Find yours in the USA.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
At Shry Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Shry Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television, make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just...
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. We're about to get underway. Our final matchup of day one of our softball tournament. The Koalas, the Bulldogs. A really good one in store. Gabriel Shry, Lorenzo Robinson, all on the Southeast Sports Network. We are just thrilled to have you with us. Hope you're excited for the action we're about to have as you are. Right now, meeting the starting lineups down along the chalk. Lorenzo, we've seen so much great softball today. It's the AAC at night. Your thoughts on this final matchup?
AAC at night, or AAC after dark, as we can coin it as well. And this will be another great matchup. The 3 seed Tennessee Wesleyan, armed with the newly crowned pitcher of the year, Bailey Phillips. So it should be a nice matchup. And then also Columbia, who's had a really great season as well. Should be a whole lot of fun, which isn't unlike any of the other games that we've seen today.
No, we've seen some really fun matchups for all these programs today. Some great plays. Check out a couple of the highlights. Visit us on Twitter at SESN Sports. Finishing up meeting the starting lineups for these programs right now. And we'll get underway with the top of the first in just a moment. Bailey Phillips will be first inside of the circle for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. They finished their season 24-11 overall. There's a look at the final record of the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. A few crucial stats from this season. The Koalas of Columbia, 24-20 overall on the year. They had a great year as well. So this is a good matchup to finish off. A great final tilt for what was a great day of softball. Taking a look at the lineup, first on the defensive side in the top of this first inning, the Bulldogs have Chastain, Sneed, Penning, Higgins, Phillips, Bradley, Baldwin, Dearman, Adamanek, and Wilson pitching. On the other side for the Koalas, it's Sharppool, Azurdia, Smith, Monson, Crawley, Roman, Sanders, Franco, and Dennis. Just a couple more minutes to get warmed up. A great turnout, and folks have stuck around even though the sun went down long ago and many have left, really good crowd for this final game of the day. We're about to get our first batter of the day at the plate. It's Sharp for the Koalas, all the way up from Columbia, South Carolina, to take on the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs here in Kingsport. Right away, popped left side. This one towards the chain link, and it's out.
Aislinn Sharp, the grad student, first person who's going to get a chance to face off against Phillips. She's batting .362 so far this year, on with 6 home runs. These are two teams that don't let their seed lines fool you. Tennessee Wesleyan is the 3 seed coming into this one. Columbia is the 6 seed, but they split their 2 matchups in the regular season. Each team taking a game.
This one popped up left side, deep to the left fielder, who grabs this and retires one.
But I've said it before earlier today, but that's the part about conference tournaments that I absolutely love, is just the fact that these teams always kind of have an idea of each other, right? They've played against each other so many times. They have so much film to comb over. These coaches, they talk, they convene. That familiarity is there between these two programs. So even if Tennessee Wesleyan may have a better record so far this year, Columbia is absolutely a threat to them. And we saw that earlier this season when they were able to take a game off of them. And doing so in Athens, Tennessee, which is no small feat.
That's no joke. Tennessee Wesleyan's had a great year athletically as well. We talked during Reinhardt's game about how successful they were this spring. It's just felt like Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs can do no wrong this year. The women's basketball team was fantastic. This is chopped right up the center, and she's cut down over at first. 2 away, top of the first in Kingsport. Bulldogs looking sharp early. Tried to take a cut at that. It was off the mark. Well, we were just giving, was it Johnson we gave credit as being the most engaged dugout of the night?
We did.
I think we have a new competitor.
And again, these are these late games, these hours where the whole crowd may not be on your side. Again, you may not have all of your fans there in attendance. Start time a little bit past 10 o'clock.
So that strikes out the side and flips the side of the inning. We'll take a break with these two programs and be back with more college softball in just a moment on the Southeast Sports Network.
At Schrei Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Schrei Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television. Make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. Here's a look at where you can tune in to our broadcast just for the Southeast Sports Network, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, Stream TV, Fire, Roku. We make it easy to find us. Visit us now, SCSNsports.com. Would love to have you along for the ride. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, early stages of our nightcap in the AAC tournament. Day 1, Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, Columbia College Koalas. Purple and blue coming together, lots of good action.
Absolutely, lots of good action indeed, and a nice job by Phillips, who just receiving the Pitcher of the Year award moments ago, able to retire the side relatively quickly there.
First look, the Koalas on the other side of things. Bottom of the first from Kingsport. Coming to you live from Brickyard Park. And Lorenzo, I can't say enough good things about the softball facility. One of my favorite facilities I've been in years.
Absolutely, and they have just so many different fields. Some games happening all around us. It's a rec league, I think, to our right. It's kids playing out in the yard. It's just so many different areas for the entire family to be able to convene.
Shot to the left side. Wow, she caught it. What a play. Diving and grabbing the ball. That's unreal. Tennessee Wesleyan sends her back to the dugout with a Sports Center-worthy play.
And in the top half of the inning, I was talking about that really chatty Columbia dugout over there, and that is a good thing. That's a very good thing, the energy that they're providing. When you're not playing in front of your home crowd, sometimes that can lack, but being able to have your own juice is huge in situations like these, and the Koalas have plenty of it.
Isabella Jenkins made the diving play. Off to a hot start in this one. Bottom of the first in Kingsport, one away. We're scoreless between the Koalas and the Bulldogs on SESN. We'll have our own little version of Tournament Central at SESNsports.com, but to get the latest bracket, stay up to date with the standings and what's to come, visit AACsports.com for the latest. Megan Dennis inside of the circle, working early for Columbia, one away. Chop to the left side. This one goes foul. The Bulldog will stay alive and return to the plate. Courtney Sneed taking her cuts, battling it out. Sneed, a junior from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, a former Trojan. Shout out Saudi Daisy Trojans. I'm on the media advisory council for that high school.
So Megan Dennis in the circle for the Koalas, and she's going to be tasked with slowing down what has been throughout this year one of the better offensive teams in the conference. 359 batting average, tied for second.
Roped into the outfield. She's going to be safe over at first. Sneed just barely squeaks that through the gap.
And right on cue, Tennessee Wesleyan getting their first hit of the game. Makes them so tough to stop. They have so many different players who are capable of making their presence felt from the plate. And they come at you in waves. It's not just one group or one part of the lineup where you can say, oh, this is where you need to lock in and this is where you can rest a little bit. No, it's 1 through 9. Everyone very capable of doing damage.
Megan Dennis dealing early. Thought Dennis and the catcher here might check in over at first, but did not. We've got one away in the bottom of the first from Kingsport. Taylor Penning now taking her cuts for the Bulldogs. In 35 games, Tennessee Wesleyan, 177 runs scored, a team batting average of .359. the bunt and blown foul here. The ump steps out, brings her back to the plate.
And that bump from Penning almost a little too perfect. It just died right in front of home plate.
Threw me off as well. I think everybody wasn't sure which way that was going. Popped up into the outfield, and she's down. She'll go back to the dugout. Well played by the Koalas. Got right under that right away. Perfectly played. Koalas now with two really big plays in the outfield in the early stages of this. Wearing the old 00 jersey. Mary Catherine Sanders, the graduate student from Orangeburg, made that play. Skylar Monson, the shortstop, with a huge play a few moments ago. Two down, bottom of the first, one on board over at the first. Dennis dealing, Emily Higgins steps back, getting quite the reaction there. Higgins, a junior, also from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Popped up, nearly straight up to make the play, and they do. The Koalas retire the side with some nifty work on the edge of the infield. We'll take a break and be back as we flip to the second in Kingsport.
Welcome to the new era of brand promotion. Are you trying to find a way to make a splash? We understand that advertising isn't what it used to be. Things have changed. Advertising is both more dynamic and more engaging. Shry Media keeps your brand not just seen, but remembered. In a world where staying relevant is key, we are your partners in staying top of mind.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee, and inside of Brickyard Park, where we're scoreless entering the top of the second between the Koalas and the Bulldogs. Tennessee Wesleyan, Columbia College, all on the Southeast Sports Network and our simulcast to the Appalachian Athletic Digital Network tonight. Gabriel Shry, Lorenzo Robinson, thrilled to have you along with us. So far, a little bit of a defensive struggle. It's kind of hard what to predict, to expect out of these programs. Even you can almost chuck the stat book out the window for this year because we're playing a 10 o'clock start in a tournament game.
Absolutely. When you're in a situation like that, that is where crazy things can happen. That is where things that you would least expect can definitely occur. We'll see which team will be able to take advantage. But I would say that in those situations, it's usually the group that comes with more energy and more juice that's able to come out on top. So Columbia, at the very least, is coming with the requisite amount of energy to be able to put themselves in position to win this game. We'll see if they'll be able to deliver.
Popped up into the center. Bulldogs able to field this. Well played by the left fielder. That's a good start for Tennessee Wesleyan. Putting one down.
I mean, if we could take a closer look at the type of year that Bailey Phillips has had, the pitcher for Tennessee Wesleyan, I mean, she's been phenomenal, not just on the mound, but also as a hitter, batting .442 with 7 home runs. She's doing double duty for Tennessee Wesleyan and doing it very well, but she did win Pitcher of the Year, so you'd be remiss if you didn't bring up the way that she performed in the circle for the Bulldogs. A 12-3 record along with 3 saves. She's only surrendered 57 hits so far this season and a .99 ERA.
Two big plays, 2 down for the Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan, off to a hot start in the top of the second. 44 games played, 186 runs scored, a team batting average of 274 for the Koalas of Columbia College. Next in the lineup, Laia Crawley. She's the DP. Crawley this season is a junior. Her batting average, 222. 90 appearances at the plate this year. 19 runs, 20 hits to go with it all. Chopped left, right up the middle, and a play over at first as she's cut down, and that'll retire the side. We'll take a break with these two programs and be back with more college softball in the AAC tournament from Kingsport in just a moment. Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. College softball live from Brickyard Park. It's the Appalachian Athletic Conference Tournament and the simulcast to the Appalachian Athletic Conference Digital Network all night long. It's the AAC at night or after dark, maybe. It depends on. Lorenzo likes after dark. I'm feeling night. I like at night.
I don't like at night. That's like Nick at night or something like
you
that.
ruined it. I was digging that.
It seems a little corny, a little cheesy.
Now it feels corny.
After dark just has kind of that.
Lorenzo, you're bullying me today. You called me old a bunch.
I wouldn't call it all that. This is just friendly banter. Two guys in the booth. Just passing time.
We flip sides. The Bulldogs will now work at the plate. We'll see what they can make of it. In the circle, Megan Dennis. She's already pitched 1 inning. So far, no damage. The first she'll have to deal with in the bottom of the second inning is Bailey Phillips. Phillips is a junior from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Unreal average this season, over 100 appearances at the plate, 22 runs, 46 hits, and an average of 442.
She's been sensational.
Yeah, the AAC just has some of the absolute best batters in the nation.
And in a lot of conferences, Bailey Phillips would be a runaway winner for Player of the Year. But in the AAC, Emily Lovelace was probably even better.
Chopped left side, it escapes through the gap, and she's safe over at first.
Bailey Phillips seeing all the players on the Koalas side struggling to get hits on her, and she says, I'll show you how to do it. Able to get a single there and getting on the board.
We've got a meeting on the mound in the early stages. Koalas coming together to talk to Dennis. Seems too early to make a change, wouldn't you say?
Probably too early. I think this is just more of a
refocus
time. Yeah, a refocus. Just want to make sure that your head is straight. Every game is so important at this stage of the season, specifically the postseason. So you don't want to leave any stone unturned. And I'm sure Coach would probably be kicking himself tonight if something happens and he's thinking, man, I should have went out there and talked to her. So that's why you go ahead and do it. Make sure that you say what you need to say and get her back in the right frame of mind going forward.
Was that a musical reference?
What do you mean?
That was a song you were quoting.
I mean, sometimes I'm a poet and I don't even know it. I can make a rhyme without trying any time,
I'm here for it.
Just rolls off the tongue like the rising of the sun.
We talked about We did a game together earlier this year, and we talked about Mike Watts doing a USL championship game and making like 120 Taylor Swift references. Checking in over at first. So I've been thinking, Chattanooga Football Club plays at home on Saturday night, and it's Star Wars night. And I'm trying to figure out, do you think I could fit in 120 Star Wars references in one broadcast?
I've never seen Star Wars, so I wouldn't be the best person to, ask that question. I know me personally, I probably wouldn't understand most of them. I'm sure people who are fans of the series and the franchise would understand them. Not probable, but possible.
You never seen Star Wars?
I've seen one Star Wars movie.
Which one?
And every time I tell people the one that I've seen, they're like very upset when I tell them the one I've seen. The Force Awakens. It's the only one I've seen.
It's okay.
The only reason I saw it is
you get a pass. You're young.
Only reason I saw it is one of my cousins wanted to go see it, so I went and saw it.
There's plenty of time. We'll work on it.
A lot of people tell me that every year, and it just seems like more time passes, and we're running out of time here. The hourglass, the sands.
It's more like innings. Sometimes a lot of stuff happens in an inning, and sometimes you have a down inning.
Well, if we're talking about in terms of that, it's a long down inning for me in terms of that, long down inning.
Still scoreless, this one. Megan Dennis dealing. Runner advances into scoring position for the Bulldogs out at second.
Yeah, in terms of Star Wars, a very long down inning. Not affiliated with Sean Combs or anything, but very long and down.
Straight up into the outfield. This one's down up along the fence. Coming home, running along the base path. The Bulldogs are in first. Making 1-0 in Kingsport, Tennessee for Tennessee Wesleyan.
Precisely what Tennessee Wesleyan needed it, and when they needed it most, able to get a big-time RBI double. They strike first blood and get on the board.
Baldwin doubles to Wright Phillips across home plate. 1-0 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs with one away in the bottom of the second.
And the way that Phillips has pitched so far, you feel like even if they don't score another run, that maybe they can feel a little bit of comfort. But you don't want to rest on your laurels. You want to continue to pour it on and add as many runs to your total as you possibly can. Put more pressure on the Koalas in this game. And we spoke about Columbia starting it off with energy, and right now it seems like Tennessee Wesleyan with all the juice on their side.
That happened fast. You're right. Tennessee Wesleyan went from basically being quiet in the dugout. I wouldn't say they were, but basically. Now we're getting all the noise from that side. Dogs lead the Koalas 1-0 from Kingsport. Bottom of the second with one away. There's the 2-0 pitch. Right up the middle, chopped that way. She's headed down to first, and the runner from second stays in position to score at third. Playing it safe with just one out.
So I used to have a coach, right? And he would say, sometimes people would come into the weight room or come to the practice, and they're, showing that they're energetic, showing that they're excited to be there, happy to be there. But he had a term that he used. He called it fake juice. So sometimes you're trying to convince yourself that you're into it, and really quickly when something goes wrong is when you'll find out if the juice is real or not. So now we'll see if the Koalas, if their juice was real or if it was just something that was fabricated, more of a figment of their imagination trying to psych themselves into it. Because Tennessee Wesleyan is coming and they're playing well.
Chopped foul right side. That guy's hat is orange. One nothing, bottom of the second. A runner in scoring position on third base with two away. Chopped right up the middle. She gloves it and cuts her down over at first. Well played by the Koalas to retire the side. We'll take a break with them and be right back in Kingsport, Tennessee on SESN. Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee and Brickyard Park, where it's 1-0 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. They lead the Columbia College Koalas from South Carolina. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, SESN, and our simulcast all night long. It's the AAC at night.
AAC after dark.
All right. Sorry, my bad. We're getting T-shirts made for sure, right?
I think you have to at this point. I mean, I think AAC is a trademark, so, you know, the powers that be would have to approve that one, but
I think we just received approval from the commissioner.
And just like that, it's happening, right?
The T-shirts are in the mail now.
Yeah, just that fast. Get your AAC After Dark T-shirts wherever you get your T-shirts
We need to get those on AACsports.com. They'll sell out immediately.
I could sell them from my car. I think they'd sell out.
Cut down at first.
I have some more branding ideas, but I'll save them. We have a long week.
Yeah, you're going to unveil one branding idea per day?
Yeah, I could give you one for the network as well. I mean, just off the top of my head, but we'll talk business. We'll talk business as this week continues.
Can we talk about how good the dog sound is they're making?
Man, I was looking around.
I'm like, where's the Rottweiler? You guys hear that Rottweiler?
I was looking around to see where it was coming from. Was that a koala? No, that wasn't a koala. That was a pit bull.
That's a good dog noise. I'm sold. I mean, they have to be. Do you think they have a machine that does that?
No, I think that was all au naturel right there.
One nothing, top of the third, none away. Bailey Phillips in the circle. Just over 20 pitches, 1K already. Ruthie Roman batting for the Koalas. Ruthie Roman pops this up, back over the fence. Look out, fans. I think we just hit Dad.
I think he's shaking it off, though. He's a trooper.
He's good. He's good to go. A champ.
I mean, you got to have some sort of guts to sit right there at the fence behind home plate.
She strikes out. Really great delivery from inside of the circle. Hang that up on the board. We'll play on.
But should we expect anything different from Bailey Phillips, the pitcher of the year? She's done it all season long and just adding to her stellar resume during the 2024 season.
Make it 2 Ks for Phillips. Just in the top of the third in Kingsport.
And for the people at home, like having an ERA below 1 is nearly unprecedented. That means like if a team scores 1 run, that is a bit of a gift to them. You can't even expect the score going up against her. That is absolutely unreal.
Bailey Phillips, the pitcher of the year, just received her hardware from Deputy Commissioner Jay Stansel right before first pitch of this. Chop to the left. This goes foul as well.
Mary Catherine Sanders, the grad student, batting .336 this year for the Koalas. She's had a strong year.
Native to South Carolina. Strikes out. She'll go back to the dugout. 2 away. Threatening to flip sides to the bottom of the third now. Chopped off into the netting of the backstop. With 2 away. A 1 pitch. Phillips already has 3 Ks through 30 pitches.
It's not a surprise. It's just what she's done this year. Now the Koalas desperately need someone to be able to break the ice.
Phillips this season 11-2 in conference play. 2 saves, .84 ERA as she strikes out and retires the side. More on her success this year when we come back on SESN. Well, there was a beware of the dog sign and it fell. I'm assuming the sign was hung up for Bailey Phillips because she is a dog from in the circle. Absolutely crushed it this season. Before the break, Lorenzo getting into those stats a little bit. 11-2 in conference play pitching, 2 saves, .84 ERA. You were talking about that, under 1. It's just crazy. And in total, struck out 117 in 83 innings of work. Just unreal. Well-deserved hardware for her. The Koalas trailing by just 1 in Kingsport from Brickyard Park. Southeast Sports Network, AAC Digital Network. Thrilled to have you with us for AAC tournament play.
And for Columbia, you kind of have to feel for them a little bit because this is a time where they need to try to jump out against Tennessee Wesleyan as their bats are a bit late arriving to this game. They need to be able to put some early pressure on them. But Bailey Phillips is so phenomenal in the circle for the Bulldogs. It makes things very difficult. And it's really just buying time for the bats to come alive for them as well.
Showed bunt, pulled up. Chop that left side, unreal snag. And she'll go back to the dugout. That is just incredible, 1 away.
Nice play there made by the third baseman, Sharp. Great heads-up play, not allowing that one to get into the outfield. Catching that one over her shoulder.
Bunted, and this goes foul on Sneed. Sneed's already looking good today, 1 for 1. Key piece all year long for Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs. Chop to the left side, rattles up the line, a play over at first. Didn't make it in time. Great hustle by Snead, just couldn't get to the bag in time. They'll send her back to the dugout. Now 2 away for the Koalas of Columbia College, who are looking to wrap up the side and get to work, trying to score a run and tie this up. Bottom of the third, 2 away. Megan Dennis from the circle. This is Taylor Penning. She's 0 for 1, the shortstop.
And we've given a lot of love to Bailey Phillips, and rightfully so, for the way that she's performed throughout this season and in this game in particular. But Megan Dennis is performing very well for Columbia as well, only surrendering 1 run to a great offensive team.
Play again down at first, and this time she's safe. On the bag, that's a great hustle play. Ball doesn't even escape through the gap, and Penning just gets it to the left side. It's in the dirt just long enough. She's able to get safe on board over at first. With 2 away, 1 on board in the bottom of the third for the Bulldogs, who lead 1 run to nothing.
When you have a pitcher as talented as Phillips in the circle, every single run that's scored feels like a absolute gut punch. I mean, it's already an uphill battle trying to score 1 run against her. Try 2 or 3.
Left side, that sails into the edge of the outfield for the Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan, who now have runners on board, 1 in scoring position, out at second for TWU.
We've seen our fair share of 2-out rallies here today from multiple teams throughout this tournament slate. Maybe Tennessee Wesleyan has one up their sleeve.
Silence falls over the stadium. Only for a moment. Higgins singles to left field. Penning out on second. Phillips now at the plate. 1 for 1 batting. Megan Dennis is dealing.
I think that silence was just a collection of over 100 people eavesdropping, trying to hear what Coach was telling Phillips. She's done a little bit of everything already in this game.
The eavesdropping is strong with this one. Two runners on board, Penning in scoring position at second for Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs. With 2 away in the bottom of the third, here's the delivery. Popped up right towards the edge of the infield. She's down, and that'll retire the side. We'll take a break and be right back on SCSN with the AAC Softball Tournament. Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee and Brickyard Park. Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, Columbia College Koalas, all live, all evening long. Thrilled to have you in the top of the fourth with us. Hope you're enjoying the action. Okay, now for the AAC After Dark. I'm starting to get a little tired. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson. Now would be an opportune time for an old joke.
Well, tired is nothing but a state of mind. If you allow yourself to be tired, then you'll be tired. But if you tell yourself that you're not, you'll never get tired.
I'm not sure if that was an old joke or if you just said something.
Those are words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. I mean, you know, generally my elder statesman is supposed to be the one that delivers those to me, so I'm just filling in the gaps.
You're just reversing the role.
Just filling in the gaps a little bit.
Bulldogs Pitcher of the Year, Phillips starting off the tournament for TWU. 4 Ks already, 32 pitches thrown. Aislinn Sharp at the plate for the Koalas of Columbia College.
So I made a silent pact with myself after the last game, but I think I'm going to break it right here. Entering the fourth, Phillips is pitching a perfect game. So now I've said it, it's in the universe, it's in the atmosphere. And what happens to that will be no fault of mine.
You just can't leave well enough alone, can you?
Absolutely not.
A lot of guys are superstitious about that. I say it, but I really believe it. It's been so many times now, it's not funny anymore. Chop to the left. Play over at first. A race down to the bag, and the ball is loose, so she's headed to second and into scoring position. Well played by the Koalas. A little bit of luck. The ball squeaks down to the chain link, and she's on her way into scoring position.
So when you have a one-run lead like the Bulldogs have right now, you need to be able to tighten the screws defensively. You need to be on one accord. You all need to be aligned, and any little mistake can go a long way towards flipping the game upside down. We see there an error there from Tennessee Wesleyan. That was the shortstop Penning making that critical mistake. And all of a sudden, Columbia in position to strike for the first time in this one.
Throwing the bunt. Not really able to cleanly put the bat onto that. Ball rattles through the dirt. Koalas move around the base path.
Now with a runner threatening from third base.
The door to the press box. Chop to the right, this trending foul. Up onto the bluff to our right. That one's long gone. I would be remiss. We're making a lot of jokes. Got to get this one in. Talked about how great this press box is. But you got to give it its salt, too. That door to the press box belongs in a football locker room. Popped straight up. And couldn't get it on the baseline, so both runners staying alive and still come back to the plate.
And again, when you're clinging to a one-run lead, those are the type of mistakes that you cannot make. You need to be able to have those screws as tight as possible defensively. So now there's going to be a meeting on the mound, and a meeting in the circle. It's going to be the coach, the entire infield, and I couldn't imagine it would be a discussion about Phillips specifically. I think it's more about the team and just making sure that everybody is, again, on the same page and focused. We've seen a few mistakes made here in the fourth from the Bulldogs, and they're playing in a game that I don't know for sure, but I would venture to say this is the latest point in a particular day that they have played. It's now 10:45 here in Kingsport, Tennessee. So now probably trying to fight off a little bit of that tired feeling, fatigue, mentally, physically. It's been a long, draining day. They didn't know if they were going to play or not. So all of those things have to factor in, but the Bulldogs with the lead, they're trying to keep it.
I think I'm trying to fight off fatigue.
I mean, again, it's a state of mind. I mean, I'm not tired. If you say I'm not tired one time, I promise you won't be tired.
I'm not tired.
There it is.
Struck out and sent back to the dugout. Bat in hand and all.
That was big. The Koalas had so much momentum. after that error, allowing a runner to make their way to second, and then another one allowing the ball to drop, allowing another one to get to third. That was huge there. Bailey Phillips, a big-time K.
5 Ks for Bailey Phillips, 43 pitches. Top of the fourth with one away and a runner in prime scoring position over on third for the Koalas of Columbia College. Phillips working the circle. There's the bunt right towards her. A play down at the plate, sliding in for the score. Bulldogs trying to make the double play out there. They'll say she's safe on second. What an unreal slide into the plate. Columbia College taking advantage on the bunt. Another runner in scoring position.
That's correct, but you do have to give a lot of credit to Bailey Phillips. The presence of mind to get that lead runner out who was heading straight for home.
Yeah, and that crucially keeps the run off of the board. And lots of credit for her, but also Wilson. Wilson pivots, gets on top of the plate, makes that play perfectly without that heads up and just instant communication, well practiced, well coached. Didn't even have to think about it. Without that, obviously, very different story. Columbia College's Koalas get one in and tie us up. Tennessee Wesleyan, Columbia College, the Koalas and the Bulldogs on the Southeast Sports Network. Gabriel Shrine, Lorenzo Robinson. It's 1-0 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. The Koalas nearly able to score. This one is tight, tight, tight. It's the AAC After Dark, all on SCSN. Bust out your neon lights. 10:48 Eastern Time, and we play on from Brickyard Park in Kingsport, Tennessee. Some serious sorting out to do here. Kylie Smith over 1. Now it's her turn to take her cuts at the plate. Staring her down from the center of that circle, none other than Bailey Phillips, the AAC Pitcher of the Year. Dealing heat from Southeast Tennessee to Montreat, North Carolina, you name it. She's been around these mountains and done very well all season long. Smith is a senior. Originally from Goose Creek, South Carolina. Later prep at Goose Creek High. Smith has had over 130 at-bats this season and boasts an impressive average of just shy of 400 at 398. Popped foul right side. Chop to the left, play down at the bag at first. Really well delivered by Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment on SCSN with more college softball. Kingsport, Tennessee, college softball, Southeast Sports Network. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, thrilled to have you along for the ride. 1-0, Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Tennessee Wesleyan now a chance to bolster that lead as they'll flip sides and work offensively. Columbia's Koalas just looking to do anything they can to get back into the driver's seat and try to put up some runs.
And it's easier said than done. And it seemed like after those critical mistakes that Tennessee Wesleyan made, that Columbia was well on their way to getting themselves on the board. But as the sky was falling, as the world was crumbling around her, Bailey Phillips remained strong and steady and was able to do her part in retiring the side.
I'm going to be heavily criticized for this. I'm glad we're playing at night. I like this. This is fun. Yeah,
Night games
heavy critic. I can feel the eyes on me from around the press box. I'm in trouble.
But, I mean, night games always do have that unique feeling of just being under the lights and it feeling like a show, just everybody paying attention, all eyes on what's happening on the field. With that being said, 10:53 p.m. is a little bit past my bedtime on a school night. So, you know, that's the only thing.
Popped up in the center, deep and one away in Kingsport. The Koalas make the nice play. That's twice for her in the early stages of this one.
At this point in the day, I'm usually rubbing my feet together watching something on Netflix, but
what are you watching right now? Anything good?
Nothing good. Just whatever's recommended. Usually it starts watching me, so. I'm asleep.
I don't know how to feel about that one.
I mean, you fall asleep and the TV's still on. It's watching you.
You're not wrong. I don't want to say you're right, but you're not wrong.
I'll take not wrong.
Bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Tennessee Wesleyan this season 24-11 overall. The Koalas 24-20. Megan Dennis, the one dealing from inside of the circle for Columbia. 1-for-1, Mackenzie Baldwin at the plate. Count is 2-1 with one away in the bottom of this fourth inning. Ball's chopped left side. This goes foul over the line. Bulldogs chant, move that line.
If only it could be picked up and physically moved a little bit to the side, I'm sure they would be a little bit more happy.
I'd be all about that, actually. I'm in favor of moving the line. Beware of the dog. Popped again left side. And she got it. That's unreal.
Absolutely a nice play there made for the Koalas. Azurdia making that play out there in left field.
She's in that magic spot from the press box, right behind the dugout.
You can never be so sure, but you can always tell from the reactions of the opposing teams which way it kind of goes.
That was a guess. Most of these are just guesses based on what we can see and hear.
Guesses or educated inferences?
I think you need to go to bed.
I told you it's past my bedtime, you know.
That's chopped into the outfield right side. It's down. Bulldogs headed into scoring position out at second, and she's on board and safe. Look at the celly.
That was a nice job there by DeArmond, not just getting that one into the outfield, but also showing off the wheels there, making her way to second base.
Wheels is right. Carolyn next at bat, following DeArmond, and going to do anything she can to push her from scoring position over the plate.
Oh yeah, just skip the last name. I wouldn't even try. If that's Carol, I wouldn't even try. Oh. 19. Oh, who's on second base? I think it's DeArmond. Oh, the pinch runner. Hang on, please hold.
Bottom of the fourth, 1-0. One runner on board. Out at second for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs in scoring position. We'll see what she can do. A meeting of the minds in the circle. Coach now headed back to the dugout, satisfied with the wisdom he's imparted.
The game is so tight. So, again, these are very crucial situations. 2 outs on the board. The Koalas desperately need to retire the side and get out of this inning unscathed. Meanwhile, Tennessee Wesleyan, anytime you can score a run in a pitcher's duel like this one, again, it just feels like such a gut punch to your chances of winning.
Here's the bunt. Italia advances to third base. And they're going to bring her back. That goes foul. Middle stages of this one. 2 away, runner in scoring position on second for Tennessee Wesleyan. Chopped up the middle, floating, down, gloved. And that'll retire the side. So we'll take a break with these two and be back with more college softball and excellent plays on SESN in just a moment. Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. 1-0, top of the fifth. Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs have held on to that lead for a long time. Something's got to give. Tennessee Wesleyan certainly would be content to just walk this lead right down to the wire and walk away with a 1-0 win.
Of course, they'd be very content to do so, but a 1-run lead is not safe. Even if you have a pitcher as talented as Phillips in the circle, so things can get dicey, and we've already seen an error and see what that can do to their team. Nonetheless, entering the fifth inning, Bailey Phillips is perfect.
I feel like the announcer's curse would have got her by now if it was going to get her. I'm being blamed for that. That's Lorenzo said it first. I'd have never brought it up.
I don't believe in the announcer's change, because it's not like she can hear me. She can't hear me from up here. So, again, anything that happens, I cannot be blamed for.
I'm 100% a believer.
Of course, as a fan of just greatness, you would just love to see her be able to complete that. But obviously, if you're a fan of the Koalas, you're hoping that she's able to find a way to stumble a little bit as this game continues.
So she'll make her way over to first. Skylar Monson on the bag. Bailey Phillips dealing. Pitcher of the Year for the Appalachian Athletic Conference.
She's showing everybody just why she was given that award with the way that she has performed in the circle today. But Columbia, they are not a bad offensive team. I mean, they came into this game with a .274 batting average as a group. That's 10th in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, but it's far from the worst batting average we've seen from a team over the course of this season. So not a bad offensive team by any stretch of the imagination. They have plenty of very capable batters who we've seen make plays throughout the year. So to see them, they just seem kind of flustered, like there's a riddle right now in the circle in the form of Phillips, and they have no answers.
There's the bunt. Play over at first. She's on board.
And maybe that's where it turns. An error there made, an errant throw over at first. And maybe that is where the tide starts to turn.
So Monson strikes out swinging. That's Phillips' 6th K. Now we've got Crawley, who's reached first on an error.
Yeah, so the game no longer perfect there with an error.
Zipped in. One away, top of the 5th, score 1-0, count 1-0. Roman at the plate for the Koalas. Bunted to the left, a play over at first, and this time she's out. Well played, getting that across the infield. Heads up by the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Great communication. That ball finds its way to first, and now 2 down in the top of the 5th with a runner in scoring position out on second.
So the perfect game is out the window, but still working with a no-hitter into the 5th inning.
Chopped left foul. 0 for 1 today, Mary Catherine Sanders battling at the plate.
And then a point for your team, it just becomes a little bit demoralizing, just not able to solve the riddle that is Bailey Phillips in the circle.
Two away in Kingsport. Count is 0-1. Pulled off. Phillips looking out to the bag at second. .11:06 p.m. Eastern Time, top of the 5th. AAC tournament action. This one roped out, ball's loose, staying still, and ball back to second where she's touching the bag. still down. Hopefully she's all right. They're going to check on her, so we'll take a break and be back with more college softball and the AAC tournament in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
Welcome to the new era of brand promotion. Are you trying to find a way to make a splash? We understand that advertising isn't what it used to be. Things have changed. Advertising is both more dynamic and more engaging. Shry Media keeps your brand not just seen, but remembered. In a world where staying relevant is key, we are your partners in staying top of mind.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee, 1-0. Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs out in front. Late stages of day one of AAC tournament action. Gabriel Shry, Lorenzo Robinson. Glad you're here with us. Hope you got, I mentioned like 2 games ago, it was time to run to the store with your phone and keep listening. Stay tuned in and grab some snacks and settle in for the night. Hope you got those and you're settled in. Had an injury down at second with a koala. Now she was up and able to walk off of the field, mostly under her own power, maybe some help there a little bit. So a good sign, and we're hoping that she's going to be all right. We'll be back underway in just a few moments. Bulldogs taking back to the field, and the crowd definitely affected by that. They were a little rowdy before the injury, and basically silence has fallen over Brickyard Park.
Absolutely, and we definitely wish the player the best. Definitely hope that it's not too serious, that she'll be able to continue to play in this tournament. But health is the most important thing, so I want to make sure that everything is fine before resuming play. I'm sure that they'll allow the pitcher, Phillips, to try to get back and warm up.
Crawley, just thinking of her. Junior from Tennessee originally, transferred from Roane State to Columbia. Hoping you're all right. Big swing here, and that retires to the side. We'll take a break and be back with more college softball in just a moment on the Southeast Sports Network. Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee, and inside of Brickyard Park. 1-0 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. We flipped sides. Columbia College defensively, the Bulldogs looking for an insurance run and maybe what could be a couple of put-away runs in the bottom of this fifth inning. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, AAC tournament action. We've got it all on the Southeast Sports Network and are thrilled to have you along with us. Koalas come together before we get underway.
At some point, you have to feel like a team that is as potent offensively as Tennessee Wesleyan has been throughout this year. You have to feel like there's going to be a time where their bats start to come alive and they make their presence felt at the plate. Right now, Megan Dennis doing such a tremendous job of holding this talented lineup at bay, really making things difficult for the Bulldogs.
Chopped right up the middle. She's headed down to the bag at first and on board there for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs.
And right on cue, Macy Chastain 0 for 2 entering that at-bat, getting her first hit of the ball game. Maybe that's what Tennessee Wesleyan needed. Just needing maybe another insurance run or two to feel a little bit more comfortable about where they are in this one.
One on board, on the bag, over at first. Singling to center field, Chastain. Now the bunt goes foul. Courtney Sneed batting 1 for 2 today.
Now it is absolutely imperative for Megan Dennis to remain calm, remain focused, and remain poised out there in the circle. She needs to try her best to continue to hold this Tennessee Wesleyan lineup at bay, to continue to make it difficult for them, because that will continue to give your guys and your players chances to make something happen.
Courtney Sneed, a monster batting average, 485. Electric this season for Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs. One on board at first, Chastain awaiting. Sneed chops it up the middle, a play out at the bag at second. She's on board. 2 runners find the base for the Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan, 1 in scoring position in the bottom of the 5th.
Sneed able to pick up her second hit of the night, and that one took a little bit of a slow roll over there to Monson, the shortstop. She was unable to get anyone out either at first or second. So now 2 runners on for the Bulldogs, nobody gone. This is a tremendous chance for them to add to their total.
Chopped foul. Runners return. Hope you'll be with us for all of our coverage tomorrow. Brackets will get shuffled around. Getting started at 11 tomorrow here. We'll have coverage starting at 11. Baseball coverage all day as well. 4 games starting at 10. The bunt.
So a bunt that was almost too perfect. It just landed right in front of home plate. And then getting tagged out.
So Penning is going to go back to the dugout. Replacing her is Emily Higgins. And Higgins has a great setup here. 2 in scoring position, 1 at third, 1 at 2. Megan Dennis, time for a meeting inside of that circle for the Koalas of Columbia College. Trailing 1-0 in the late stages from Kingsport, Tennessee. Two runners on board for Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs. They lead by 1 run, looking for crucial insurance runs in the late stages from Kingsport, Tennessee. Bottom of the 5th, 1 away. Emily Higgins, 1 for 2 today at the plate. Dennis dealing from the circle for the Purple Koalas. Dennis glances down, now the 0-1. Lasered in for the Koalas.
2 runners in scoring position. This is probably the best chance that Tennessee Wesleyan has had to be able to add runs to their total since that 2nd inning. We'll see if they're going to be able to cash in here. Dennis has been so stout there in the circle for the Koalas.
With 1 away, the 1-1. Two in scoring position in Kingsport. We've got a runner on third, a runner on second. Moments ago, ball 2. Emily Higgins battling it out at the plate. The 2-1 popped up back towards the chain link of the backstop and into the fans.
And you see some of the fans trying to duck and get out of the way of that one.
I can't blame them. Doesn't feel good.
But I would almost say it would be a little bit more beneficial to kind of see where it's coming from, just so you know where to go instead of just dropping your head, so then maybe it lands on your back. And I mean, it hurts if it lands on your back, right?
Had a ball down along the backstop. Had to get that cleared off. Good eyes by the official. By the way, stellar officiating all day today.
Well, you can never give them too much credit. You got to keep them on their toes. So I'll just say that they did their job.
That's a bit wide. Here we go. Coming home, she's going to go back. Both runners in scoring position return. Third and second. Probably wise as the catcher scatters and gets on top of the ball immediately in Kingsport.
But the base is now loaded for the Bulldogs. Even more of a chance to try to get something going. And who's going to be the person to do it for them? Well, they're hoping that it's going to be their star, Bailey Phillips, who now enters the batter's box.
It seems like that's a safe bet. Phillips has been so electric this season. 1 for 2 today. Was throwing a no-hitter for most of this game until you brought it up.
Oh, she's still working with a no-hitter. It was a perfect game, but she's still working with a no-hitter.
Okay,
right
yeah,
now.
right. Loaded bases for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Megan Dennis.
You can hear the chants coming from Tennessee Wesleyan's dugout. They're ready to see Bailey Phillips perform another magic trick here.
A magic trick is right. She's got them all up in her sleeves and has been full of them this year, striking out batter after batter for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. That was the 1-0 pitch. With one away in the bottom of the fifth, the bases are loaded for Tennessee Wesleyan with AAC star Bailey Phillips at the plate. Chopped to the right, that goes foul. Two in scoring position for Tennessee Wesleyan. The delivery. All three runners want to advance. The 1-2 pitch with one away. Megan Dennis, after throwing a ball. The 2-2. Chopped up, popped, deep left, right side, towards the fence, it's gone! Unbelievable! The Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs with a grand slam!
And that was huge for Tennessee Wesleyan. And who else but Bailey Phillips to come away with that one? She has stopped Columbia from being able to score all night long. And then she tacks on runs to her own team's total. Big time shot there for the grand slam.
Koalas beware of Bailey Phillips. Electric performance tonight. 11:23 p.m. Chalk up a grand slam for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, who now lead 5-0 with one away in the bottom of the fifth from Brickyard Park. It doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't. That's going to be a moment that this team is going to remember for a very long time. And if this year goes the way that they hope it does, if this week goes the way that they hope it does, that may be remembered as the pivotal moment of the season for them.
Well, we were talking about how late it is and how memorable that would be in my mind. You take a moment like that, you'll remember that for the rest of your life now. She'll tell her grandchildren about the night she hit a grand slam at almost midnight during the AAC tournament for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. That's unreal.
And fireworks, but I mean, you have to expect fireworks for AAC after dark.
Listen, you're getting we started with t-shirts. Now we're on to fireworks. I don't know. That's a tough sell. That seems like a fire hazard.
I'm just giving out branding ideas for free. I mean, you know, it's all good. It's just I just hope that I just won't be forgotten. You know, I don't need a piece of the pie. I don't need a piece of the pie. Just you know, just always think of me when you see it. Hey, there was a kid who thought of that one day, and now it's turned into a thing. There's going to be 10 o'clock start times for some softball games going forward. You might see them.
An unreal play by Bailey Phillips pushes the lead of the Bulldogs from just one run in the bottom of the fifth. The grand slam makes it 5-0. Bulldogs leading Columbia. Our nightcap of our first day of games in the AAC softball tournament.
And earlier I spoke about how 1 run or 2 run score can just feel like such a gut punch in a tight game, a pitcher's duel of sorts. Having a 5-run advantage feels nearly insurmountable. So Columbia has a lot of work to do if they're going to win, and they only have 6 outs to work with. But not to mention, this inning is not over. Tennessee Wesleyan can potentially do even more damage here in the fifth.
One away, bottom of the fifth. Kaylee Bradley at the plate. Kinsley now from inside of the circle. Kinsley's a sophomore from Polk City, Iowa. Played at North Polk High. This is her 27th inning she's pitched this season. Her teammates had the chance down.
We said that they were maybe lacking a little bit in juice to start this one, but definitely not lacking as this game has continued. Whatever we felt like they were lacking, they have more than made up for it as this game has gone on.
Chop to the left, she drops it, and so on board over at first for Tennessee Wesleyan, who can do no wrong in the bottom half of this inning. Unreal.
And that was the shortstop Monson who mishandled that one. Another critical error there for Columbia. Already down by 5 runs, giving Tennessee Wesleyan another door to run through and potentially add more runs. Said it, 5 feels insurmountable. Anything more would just seem downright cruel to try to come back from.
Popped up to the left, sailing in the short outfield, it's down. 2 runners on board for Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs. 1 in scoring position now. Next to the plate, Italia, she's pinch run already today. Tonight, I should say. Big swing, strike 1. 2 on board. 1 out at second. 1 on the bag at first for the Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan. Looking to extend their lead even further from 5 runs in the bottom of this 5th after a grand slam by Bailey Phillips, the pitcher of the year. Popped right side, inside of the fence, and that's going to put down a second. 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. Carolyn 0 for 2 next to the plate for the Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan. 5-0 bottom of the 5th. 2 away, 2 on board, 1 in scoring position on SCSN. AAC tournament time. Chop to the left, stays fair, and a play over at first trying to cut her down. That'll retire the side. So we'll take a break with these 2 programs. An unreal 5th for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. We'll be back in just a moment in Kingsport.
Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee and Brickyard Park, where it's 5-0 in the top of the 6th. Bailey Phillips just got her hardware as the AAC pitcher of the year. Franks a grand slam, the hero for the Bulldogs in this one. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, glad you're here with us. Excited for the conclusion. Just a little bit left to play in Kingsport on day 1 This tournament is going to be great if it just keeps going like this.
It is, and plenty of great players, great teams, great coaching staffs. Everyone is well prepared after a very competitive season throughout the year. And all these teams, they know each other far too well, so there's bound to be fireworks in these matchups as we continue.
I had a lot of things on my bingo card for day one. Midnight softball and a grand slam by the pitcher of the year were not on my bingo card for day one. I think Jay's going to have to help me with my bingo card next year. A race over to first. Back to the dugout.
Seems like it was just merely cosmetic.
Very much cosmetic. Going through the motions, right? Billy Phillips, 8 Ks and a grand slam in the top of the 6th.
And still with a no-hitter through 5.
Is there something we can name after her in Athens? There's got to be something down there we can name it, like a bridge or a building.
I think a bridge or a building might be a little.
Is it too much? It's not too much.
Let's start with like a sandwich or a meal, you know.
And back to the dugout. Two down, top of the 6th. Bailey Phillips is dealing in Kingsport. 9 Ks. Katie Poole 0 for 2. She's been struck out once. Her chance at redemption. The chants do go insane all night.
That might be my favorite one that Columbia's doing right now.
We got a little bit of Motown ice hockey going on in the dugout. Chop to left, that goes foul. 5-0 TWU Bulldogs. I think they probably got, we should do a whole Twitter poll. We don't have time to do this. I want to do a whole bracket about the best chants.
What was the name of that song that they were just doing? I can't even.
I couldn't tell you. Oh, it's the Hay song.
The Hay song.
Yeah.
Hey. I could have guessed that. I guess.
You'll get it next time.
Nah, I wouldn't have been able to guess.
It's a Star Wars thing.
I mean, if it's Star Wars, then I have completely missed the mark.
Chop foul left. 2 away, top of the 6th, 5-0 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. I don't think we have to do a bracket for best chants. I think we know the winner.
The Hay song. Why didn't I think of that?
I mean, that's my favorite one that they've done, but the collection of songs, you could release a vinyl. Everything they're doing, they're crushing.
What's a vinyl?
Listen, that joke they stopped making those 30 years before I was born. You can't make an old joke about that one.
No, I don't even know. What is it?
It's like a record. That's what they call it, as a vinyl.
Oh, a record?
Yeah. I have a vinyl player in my house.
I mean, you know.
Listen, we've been here for like...
That's like the CD, you know.
I don't have any. I got rid of all my CDs.
But you have a record player?
Yeah, it's nice.
Swanky.
Yeah. There's something romantic about it, right? Oh, I'll put a record on when we all sit down in the living room and talk.
I could do the same thing by playing some music from my TV.
It's not the same.
Effect. Same effect.
Cut down at first, and that retires the side. We are going to the bottom of the 6th in Kingsport, Tennessee, between Tennessee Wesleyan and the Koalas. Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. 5-0 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, Bailey Phillips, powering this train down the rails. She has been unreal tonight. I think that hardware gave her a little boost. Got the trophy, got the handshake and the photo, and feeling extra good.
And you talk about a jinx. Sometimes that's a jinx, receiving an award just before a game. It may put a target on your back and may force other teams to try to go out of their way to show that maybe they had a player that was more deserving, but Bailey Phillips has just been everything and more for Tennessee Wesleyan. She has been superb. A no-hitter through 6, not to mention a big-time grand slam.
Kinsley from the circle for the Koalas of Columbia College. First to bat for Tennessee Wesleyan, Chastain. 1 for 3 today. Shows bunt. Ball 1. Bottom of the 6th, Bulldogs, the plate hit a grand slam in their last half inning.
With the way that Phillips has been dealing in the circle, it can be very difficult to see Columbia being able to string together 5 runs in just 1 inning. So it would be even more difficult to see Columbia winning if Tennessee Wesleyan can add more runs to their total.
Caught a piece of that. She'll jog down to the bag at first. Beware the dog sign is hanging up again. Probably my favorite thing I've seen at the tournament. It's pretty clever. Do you think they take that with them everywhere they go?
I reckon so. I reckon so.
Does that do something?
Bit of an edge, gives you a bit of an edge, you know. It's just like having a flag on your sideline, planting a flag or anything like that. Just something personal for the team that everybody can rally behind.
My alma mater for my undergrad, the mascot is the Bulldogs. Never once did we do that. What a missed opportunity. We could have been doing that for like 10 decades. Beware the dog. That's so clever.
Man, 10 decades.
I don't know. I just came up with listen, it's like midnight. I don't think either of us are qualified to stay up this late. My mom would be really upset if she knew we were still broadcasting right now. You guys got to get in bed.
I told you I'm way past my normal school night bedtime, you know. This is normally, well, not even normally. I mean, I'm probably gone by this time of night, so. Most nights.
Both dugouts making a little bit of noise. Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs on the left. The Koalas of Columbia College on the right. Two-0 pitch. One on board over at first for Courtney Sneed and the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, who lead 5-0 in the bottom of the sixth. Sneed is 2 for 3 today. Pulls off on the 3-0. That's strike one. So now 2 on board for the Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan. Sneed over at first. 1 in scoring position. Out on the bag at second. We'll move on in the batting order for the Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan. Taylor Penning, the shortstop, is supposed to be next. We've got a meeting coming in the circle. There's Penning standing behind the chalk, waiting for a chance to take to the field. Koalas with 2 on board, 1 in scoring position. No outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, 11:44 Eastern time. We could have had a whole package of graphics ready for this. Neon lights. AAC After Dark.
Got to make the logo.
Sparks fly. Yeah, we could do the whole, the thing where it's got the logo and it says the name of the teams. That could be like pink and lime green. We'll get it. I mean, yeah, we might have to make that just in case there's another night game. If there's rain in the forecast, all hands on deck. Graphics package coming up. 2 on board. First pitch from Paige Branham. Taylor Penning stands by for the ball. Branham right up the middle, chopped into the center. Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs run coming home. It's across. 6-0 TWU Bulldogs as that one's roped right up the center into the outfield.
The Koalas on the ropes right now here in the 6th. It is all Tennessee Wesleyan. They're making a statement right now.
Thanks to famous WLEN radio DJ Joe Johns for the comment on our streams. kind of like a compliment you would give me, though. More of a roast than a... You're so wise, Gabe. Chopped right side. That's going foul.
You know, gain wisdom through experience. And some of us has experienced a little bit more than others. That's a real thing. You know, it's not any terms of a dig or anything. That's just...
This beef has been going on the entire night.
No, that's just the way things are.
How old are you going to be this year?
It's 6-0. Tennessee Wesleyan.
I'm getting treated like I'm turning 57 this year.
I'll be 23 this year.
You can almost measure that in months, how much older I am than you.
So, let's do math. You know, there's 12 months in a year. 7, 12 times 7. That's a pretty sizable amount of months.
Chopped up towards the fence in the back. It's over the wall. Another for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Across the plate, she scores. 7-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
One more run in this one and it's over.
Meeting coming in the circle for the Koalas. One on board and scoring position. Wait, did it work? The scoreboard just got fixed by shaking the controller. That's pretty amazing. Bottom of the 6th, just one away, one in scoring position. It's 7-0 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. If they can bring the runner over on third across that plate, that will end this game and send us to day 2 of the AAC softball tournament in Kingsport. "11 minutes or 600 seconds separate us from day 2, but this run also could push us into that second day of the tournament." Branham looking to close this out. Bailey Phillips, the dangerous one at the plate. Bailey Phillips chops it right side. Coming home, a play over at first as she crosses. Unreal. What a performance by the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs tonight, Lorenzo.
Absolutely, and they were able to get that final run and finish the game. You got to give a lot of credit to Tennessee Wesleyan for the way that they came out.
The Bulldogs were absolutely nuts on day 1. A grand slam by the pitcher of the year, Bailey Phillips. She continues her electric season. Day 1 is in the books, an 8-0 final score as Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs pick up the victory in the bottom of the 6th. Really good performance. Any final thoughts from you on day 1 or this matchup specifically, Lorenzo?
Well, if day one is any indication, we are in for a treat over the course of this week. All of these teams very familiar with each other. They've played multiple games against each other. They know exactly what to expect. Should be a lot of fun.
Bailey Phillips hits the grand slam. Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs win 8-0 in the final game of day one. We'll break and send you to day two of the tournament. Hope you'll be with us all day on SESN tomorrow. We've got baseball and softball from Kingsport, Tennessee. All games and events airing on our networks are broadcast live, and our copyright material, today's game, will be archived inside of the app and available for replay. Thank you for tuning in.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live. All from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
The story of the United States has been written for centuries. Penned by millions of authors, written in every language, from every perspective. With every chapter as unique as our people and our land. Our story is one made up of many. Find yours in the USA.
At Shry Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Shry Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television, make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATVs life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
Welcome to the new era of brand promotion. Are you trying to find a way to make a splash? We understand that advertising isn't what it used to be. Things have changed. Advertising is both more dynamic and more engaging. Shry Media keeps your brand not just seen, but remembered. In a world where staying relevant is key, we are your partners in staying top of mind.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.